El municipio habilita canales para el pago de impuesto predial, urbano y rural. Puedes efectuar el pago de manera virtual desde el 1 de enero del 2024 a través del siguiente proceso. Consulta el valor a pagar en el portal de servicios en línea de la página web www.guayaquil.gov.es. Escoge la opción Impuesto Predial. Digita el código catastral correspondiente a tu predio. Realiza el pago a través de la institución financiera de tu preferencia o corresponsales no bancarios. Puedes pagar en efectivo a través de cheques certificados, tarjeta de débito o crédito. En caso de pago electrónico, el recibo estará disponible luego de 48 horas laborables ingresando a www.guayaquil.gov.es, opción Recibo electrónico de pago. Si realizas tu pago de manera presencial, puedes hacerlo desde el martes 2 de enero del 2024, acercándote a cualquiera de las 20 ventanillas que serán habilitadas en el edificio municipal o en cualquiera de los 4 kioscos digitales de atención. Recuerda que los kioscos solo aceptan tarjetas de crédito. Puedes acercarte al bloque 1 en Malecón y Clemente Ballén o al bloque 3 ubicado en 10 de agosto y Pichincha, el cual será destinado especialmente para personas con discapacidad y adultos mayores. Si pagas antes del 15 de enero del 2024, tendrás un beneficio del 10% de descuento.
Alcaldía Ciudadana de Guayaquil. Guayaquil vuelve a los guayaquileños.
Bueno, ahora sí, ya tenemos en la línea a Benita Alexander, como les contaba, ella es periodista, productora, narradora y produjo una serie sobre su expareja, Paolo Marciani, que es de la serie de Netflix Bad Surgeon, Love Under the Knife. Uy, Dios mío, el amor bajo el cuchillo. Primero vamos a saludarla. Benita, how are you? Thanks for being with us here en Así Amaneció.
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
No, it's a pleasure. Le voy a preguntar primero qué motivó a hacer este documental y qué espera lograr con él. Benita, what motivated you to make this documentary and what do you hope to achieve with it?
My only goal in going public and talking about Dr. Paolo Macchiarini has been to expose him for who he is. He is a dangerous, cunning, pathological liar, and he has been doing experiments on human beings, and it's criminal and he should be behind bars. And my only goal in talking about this has not even been to tell my own story, but to expose him and try to get some justice for his patients.
Bueno, me dice que el único meta que tiene con este documental es exponer a este doctor, a este mal doctor que se llama Paolo Macchiarini, que es un criminal que ha atentado contra la vida de sus pacientes y que debería estar detrás de barras en una cárcel. Le voy a preguntar ahora cómo fue su relación con él y qué le atrajo de él y cómo empezó a descubrir sus mentiras. Benita, how was your relationship with Dr. Marciani? What attracted you to him and how did you begin to discover his lies?
You know, initially it started out as a beautiful love story. It was a fairy tale. We were together for almost 2 years, so it was a long time. This was not a quick courtship. And I thought this was the person that I was spending the rest of my life with. I was madly in love. It turned into an absolute nightmare because about 8 weeks before our wedding, which was supposed to be July of 2015, I found out that he was literally lying about everything. He had created an entire fake fantasy wedding that was never going to happen. He had told me he was divorced. He wasn't. He never could have legally married me in the first place. Literally everything about the wedding was a lie. He claimed to know all these celebrities. He didn't know any of them. And then even worse, in the house in Barcelona where we were supposed to be moving after the wedding, he was hiding another family, a third family. So wow. Just everything about him was a lie.
Bueno, nos dice que al principio fue una historia de hadas, un cuento de hadas. Tuvieron 2 años juntos, muy enamorados, que la verdad es que al principio todo era divino. Pero 8 semanas antes de casarse, empezó en julio del 2015, empezó a darse cuenta de descubrir que todo era una mentira, de que en verdad él no estaba divorciado, por lo cual no se podían ni siquiera casar. En la casa en Barcelona donde ellos se iban a mudar, este doctor ya tenía una tercera familia, es decir, ya no solamente era la segunda, sino la tercera familia que estaban ahí y ella los pudo descubrir. Ahora le voy a preguntar qué impacto tuvo en su vida personal y profesional y cómo se siente al respecto. Benita, what impact did this revelation have in your personal and professional life, and how do you feel about it?
Well, look, it's completely changed my life. I was always a very private person. I was a producer at the height of my career. I enjoyed being behind the camera, never really intended to be on camera. But one of the things that happened after I went public is a lot of women from all over the world started reaching out to me and thanking me. And thanking me for being to tell my story and being so open and candid and raw about it, and telling me that I had made them feel less alone, less stupid, because smart women do get conned all the time because these con artists are criminals and they're very cunning and they're very manipulative. So now it's turned into a secondary mission. One was to expose him, but now I'm also helping other women who've been duped by somebody that they love, who've been completely betrayed by somebody, and helping women understand how to spot the warning signs and how to get over it. And so that has actually been quite rewarding, being able to do that, and has turned a complete mess into at least something where I feel like I'm helping other people.
Good for you. Bueno, nos dice primero que ella siempre fue una persona callada, ella es productora como usted, Córdova, que siempre está detrás de cámara, que nunca le ha gustado exponerse, etcétera. Lo comprendemos porque el señor Córdova es igualito, pero que cuando empezó a lanzar esta serie y a exponer a este médico, mujeres de todas partes del mundo empezaron a buscarla. Y le empezaron a buscar porque mujeres inteligentes también son engañadas. Y ella empezó a hablar del tema con ellas y las mujeres le decían que no estaba sola, que habían otras mujeres muy inteligentes que habían sido engañadas en el pasado y que básicamente ella ahora transformado, ahora tiene una segunda meta en la vida. Ya no es solamente exponer a él, al doctor, sino que también es el trabajar con estas mujeres, de ver los red flags, por así decirlo, ver esos signos de que alguien, un hombre quiere, que es manipulativo porque es muy inteligente, puede abusar psicológicamente de las mujeres, engañarlas y llevarlas, como le dijo, lo dice ella, que ahora ella se siente bien porque algo tan malo ha terminado en algo muy bueno. Ahora le voy a preguntar, ¿qué consejo le darías a alguien que está enamorado de un cirujano famoso y exitoso, pero sospecha que puede estarle mintiendo o engañando? Benita, what advice would you give someone who is in love with a famous and successful surgeon but suspects that he might be lying or cheating? Believe me or not, this is one of the most questions that we got.
Look, I think one of the most important things is to trust your gut, right? Love, unfortunately, is a little bit blind. There's a reason they have that saying that love is blind, because when you're in love, you want to be happy and you want to trust the person that you're in love with. But if you have little red flags, little things that are nagging at you, at your gut, you're probably right. And you need to trust yourself and not dismiss those red flags and listen to yourself. I mean, it really comes down to trusting yourself and trying to be objective, which is hard when you're in love because you're not doing anything wrong. If you're in love, there's nothing, it's not a crime to be in love, and it's not a crime to want to trust the person that you love, right? But if you suspect something's wrong, very likely it is. So just, you really have to listen to yourself.
Bueno, nos dice que tenemos que seguir nuestros instintos, que las mujeres o los hombres, porque también no hay hombres que les pasa lo mismo, tienen que seguir sus instintos y que enamorarse, estar enamorado no es nada malo, vea Joseph, que no es nada malo estar enamorado, que los malos no somos nosotros, son las otras personas que nos están haciendo daño, porque siempre va a haber gente mala en el mundo. Priscila, ¿qué le quiere preguntar?
¿Sabe que justamente lo que aborda ahorita de ese sentimiento de culpabilidad? Y yo sí quisiera saber si ella en algún momento se culpó a sí misma en este sentido. Benita, it's nice to meet you right through this interview. I want to ask you if you blamed yourself through this journey?
Yes, I think one of the most difficult things about this, and this is something I talk to women about all the time, is on top of the heartbreak and the devastation and everything that comes with finding out that you don't even know who the person you thought you were in love with is, is profound embarrassment and humiliation and shame, because you think, how did this happen to me? You know, I know I'm a smart, intelligent woman. How did I get fooled? And that is one of the most difficult things to deal with, and I think is almost paralyzing, really. And it's the reason a lot of women don't talk. It's the reason a lot of women just kind of shrink away and in embarrassment and don't talk about this. And I felt like that too. I understand it. I kind of wanted to hide under the bed and stay there. But if we don't talk about it, and if we don't expose these guys, this continues, this perpetuates. That's what they count on. They count on us being too embarrassed to talk about it. And so that's why I feel so strongly about talking about it and making sure that people understand how complicated this is. These are very targeted manipulations, and it is not the woman's fault, and it is wrong to point the finger at the woman. The only thing the woman did was fall in love, and that's not a crime.
Bueno, justamente nos cuenta eso, ¿no? Que ella sí se sintió humillada, se sintió avergonzada, que tuvo momentos en los que quiso quedarse solamente en cama y simplemente olvidarse de todo, pero dice que eso fue el empuje en cierto punto en el saber que ellos cuentan con eso, ¿no? Que este tipo de personas que tienen este patrón justamente cuentan con que las mujeres se queden calladas y de esa forma continuar con su modus operandi. Pero en este sentido, ella quiere ser ese referente para las mujeres, para que sigan hablando, para que denuncien este tipo de crímenes, porque a cierto punto son crímenes, y exponerlos. Eso es lo que ella se dedica ahora.
Bueno, les voy a agradecer, pero antes quiero saber cuál es la situación legal de este famoso doctor. I have no time left, Benita, but I just want to know what's the legal situation of Paolo Marciani. Is he in jail or not?
Unfortunately not, which is appalling. He appealed his case. He was convicted to 30 months behind bars last year. He appealed the case all the way up to the Supreme Court in Sweden. In October, they said, no, we're not taking the case. You have to go to prison. But somehow, that was October. Here we are, January. He's still not behind bars. He's still trying to negotiate to spend his time behind bars in Spain instead of Sweden. He wants to sit by his pool in Spain on house arrest. So it's astonishing to me that this man is not behind bars, and that's criminal. He should be.
Thank you very much, Benita, for your time. I hope that your goals are met at the end of this journey of yours. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Le decía que espero que al final del día se cumplan las metas que ya ha programado con este documental, y nos dice que no,